Because if they speak English and you speak French, so if you understand English, it's perfect.
These interactions of mine are meant to educate and train other vegan activists like myself. These interactions are not perfect. It's a constant evolution. My videos are for you vegans to critique me and help me improve my interactions. And hopefully these videos are also for you to learn from my interactions, to encourage you to do street activism.
Okay. You guys are friends of his?
We just met.
Oh, you just met. So what language do you want me to? English is good? Okay. So everybody knows, and you too, if you're being honest with me, that it's absolutely unnecessary to eat animals and to eat their secretions, meaning the ovulations of the chickens and the growth fluid for calves, right? I'm vegan, I'm not dead. You have 88 million vegans.
Disclaimer. The reason why 88 million vegan figure is used is because that's an American capitalist figure who have 1% vegans according to their poll, and they regard the whole world is America. Same when Ipsos Mori polls ask Asian Indians, are you vegan? They reply, what is a vegan? So they give up telephoning with that question, telephoning being the operative word. They can't questionnaire the 35% of Asian Indians who are so poor they don't have a phone. So the real answer is that the poor are vegan as default. As passported 127-year-old vegan Swami Shivananda says, I quote, I was an orphan, so I still drink only water. Why should I ever consume rich food when the orphans cannot afford it? End quote. Every smart food charity knows staple grains keep people alive. It's the cheapest, most nutritious base of the food pyramid like rice, corn, wheat, potatoes and oats. And if anyone shouts protein though, then ask them why mother's milk has 1% protein. So back to the 35% poor Indians. Of a population of 1.44 billion, that's 505 million poor vegans in India alone. Add the world's 88 million who have a phone to be polled, the ones who meters say are the vegans because they are rich, then we have almost 600 million vegans. Now what percentage of the world is that? Now we know the India issue alone. Minimum 13%, not 1% BS.
You have vegan athletes, you have vegan bodybuilders, and then you have athletes who don't care about this, but they choose to have a whole plant-based diet to increase their athletic performance. Then you have other people who don't care about this, but they choose to have a whole plant-based diet to reverse their cardiovascular diseases, cancers, etc. But I'm not here to talk about the environment, and I'm not here to talk about health, because everybody knows this by now. So therefore, if it's not necessary to eat animals and their secretions, it becomes morally unjustifiable to do so, yeah? Do you agree with this? 100%? Yeah, so why choosing to be cruel then?
Yeah, that's true.
You can eat anything else. So is this animal abuse?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you against animal abuse?
Yeah.
Is there anything that justifies animal abuse?
No.
No? So you're against animal abusers, right? The ones who abuse animals.
Yeah.
And so you have two kinds of workers in here. You have the ones who are having a really hard time. They have no papers, they're underpaid, etc. So the first cause of suicides are these people. You can Google it afterwards if you like. And the first cause of domestic violence as well, and drug addiction. Because doing this every day, you know, a normal person doing this every day, you get crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the other ones who enjoy doing this, the psychopaths. You have plenty of videos on YouTube. They film themselves while doing this and they laugh and they have a great time. So their bosses who pay them their salaries every month, do you think they are as guilty as them or not?
Yeah.
Yes? Some people say even more so.
Yeah. Of course.
Even more so maybe? Or
The same.
if you want to kill someone, instead of pulling the trigger, you hire somebody else to do it. Both are guilty, right?
Yeah, the both are the same.
And where the money comes from to pay those bosses, to pay those psychopaths to do this?
What do you expect us
Exactly, from your pocket, yeah?
to do right now?
What I expect from you?
The videos are grainy at night and reduced quality due to the 12-hour interactions, then uploaded to YouTube, then reprocessed another 2 times without a pen drive. But are they both grinning with a big smile watching real-life horrors? If so, that's the lady thinking, Oh, this question is so smart and funny. While he's pleased with his question, which in other words are, yeah, but what has that got to do with us? They still haven't connected the dots, that they are the ones in this culpable system. In law, the first wrongdoing is called the poison tree. Therefore, taking the fruit from that tree is still poison. In the oldest sacred scripture, papa, meaning sin or negative karma, is shared between the killer of the animal, the butcher, the seller, the purchaser, the deliverer, and the eater. So anyone smiling at this point has no compassion for the sentient being who was tortured and abused for them, despite just saying they are against abuse and the system is culpable. And no, the sin of killing plants is nowhere near the sin that is worth millions of years in a temporary hell called a naraka for every hair on a cow's body, for example.
I expect you to be honest with me and with yourself, and to see if you're aligning your moral values with your actions. You said before to me that this is wrong, and so if you think this is wrong and animal abuse is wrong and you're against animal abuse, the next thing you're going to do is to eat animals again and slice their throats, then you're not aligning your moral values with your actions, right? If you have any moral values, that is, no offense. I don't know you, so I don't know what are your moral values, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to make people be reasonable and be honest with me and with themselves. Most people are not honest when talking about these things. Most people feel attacked when telling them the truth. And some people feel grateful and they go vegan after talking to me. So, do you have any questions? So what do I have the impression, and I hope I'm wrong, that after talking to me, you're going to slice the throats of innocent, defenseless babies?
To be a good persuader, one must have the skill to listen. It's hard when thinking about a script at the same time, but through repetition, it becomes natural, and then one can release other senses like sight. Marcus is about to fail to see someone politely raising their hand because they wish to question something that was said. I've seen this frowned upon in Britain, where people think only children at school do it, but adults should do it too, if you are polite.
The animals unnecessarily again, and this time you're going to do it in a different way, because this time I refreshed your mind. I reminded you about what you're paying for, and this time you're going to do it maliciously because you know exactly what you're paying for. Why do I have this impression? And I hope I'm wrong. Am I wrong or right?
You're right.
So why choosing to be cruel then?
No, I just have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Because I totally understand your speech.
I can say it to you in French.
Yeah. No, well, I do totally understand.
Oh, you understand everything? Yeah.
And I understand also that it's very absolute.
As she contorts her arms, comforting herself, she verdicts the vegan speech as absolute. Ironically, Anonymous for the Voiceless run the cube of truth. So although she means the statements are debatable, it's also funny that in law, philosophy, and religion, everyone is after the absolute truth.
I understand the reasons why. Bye.
Bye. I hope you'll stop killing animals.
But like you are on your path, like way far compared to us.
Unfortunately, after this, there isn't much English discussion left to comment upon. The original has at least another 20 minutes in French. Fortunately, you don't need to listen to her waffle about life's a journey, and each person is taking baby steps on their path, killing less in their own time. She will soon say she is at the stage where she does not eat meat at home, so that means she's standing here right now with masticated dead animals rotting in her stomach. This is why social smoking, social drinking, and social killing are the same repugnant life choice. And in the same way, all are a menace to society, which shouldn't be a choice in the first place, wherever there is a victim. Now we know second-hand smoking is a social problem, and scientists among you know nitrotoluenes are a third-hand social problem. Governments don't care that 75% of all violent domestic crime is due to alcohol, but they have to get their tax revenues, right? Guess why the slaughterhouses still exist? Let's presume the beginning French intro. The activist said, "Chip in any time if you have any questions." In doing so, Marcus forgot to nail down the momentum of the right-hand side women, agreeing the slaughterhouse boss and workers are culpable. But when sidetracked by a but-in question, the people didn't get to hear that they are the demand of the supply, and they pay the slaughter workers and the boss to continue for the pleasure of their taste buds. In other interactions, when it dawns upon them, it should hasten them along that path, as in right now, no pussyfooting around.
And for example, like I can conceive that everyone is in their path personally, and for example, I stopped eating meat at home. Like I stopped. I don't want to buy like meat, industrial meat or industrial things like that. I'm not vegan yet, I would say, but I am more and more like sensitive to these matters and the industrial exploitation of these matters. On peut parler en français.
Oui, bien sûr, bien sûr. ¿Tú comprends français aussi? Las industrias que abusan animales, como por ejemplo la industria de los lácteos, de baignoire avec l'eau bouillante, que c'est ça que je montrais ici aussi. Alors les animaux, ils se noient avec l'eau bouillante